Today on the Daily Scoop podcast from the Scoop News Group, the Department of Health and Human Services reverses a Biden-era reorganization of top tech officials. And the FCC has a new CIO. It's Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. Welcome to the Daily Scoop podcast, where you'll hear the latest news and trends facing government leaders. I'm the host of the Daily Scoop podcast, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for joining me. And now let's dive into the day's top headlines. The Department of Health and Human Services is reshuffling its top officials for data, artificial intelligence, and technology back under its Chief Information Officer, undoing a 2024 reorganization of those roles under the Biden administration. In a Tuesday announcement, HHS said the department's Chief AI Officer, Chief Technology Officer, and Chief Data Officer would move from the Office of the Assistant Secretary for Technology Policy / Office of the National Coordinator for Health IT, known as ASTP/ONC, back to the Office of the Chief Information Officer. The department is also ending the dual title of ASTP/ONC and reverting it back to just ONC. According to the press release, the reversal is aimed at reinforcing OCIO's statutory responsibility for enterprise IT, cybersecurity, and data operations. The move, the department said, also enables ONC to focus on its mission of health IT policy standards and certification. HHS Chief Information Officer and Acting Chief AI Officer Clark Minor said in a statement included in the release that the move allows the department to move faster on shared platforms to protect its systems more effectively and support ONC and the operating divisions with the technology capabilities they need to innovate for patients. The Biden-era reorganization was first announced in July of 2024 and generally moved functions away from the OCIO with the goal of clarifying and consolidating those responsibilities. In addition to rehousing top tech officials, the move reinstituted the role of CTO after several years of absence from the department's org chart and relocated a department program focused on coordinating health sector and government cybersecurity, known as the 405D program, to the Administration for Strategic Preparedness and Response. Now in other news, the Federal Communications Commission has tapped the Food and Drug Administration's former Chief Digital Officer as its new IT chief, the independent agency announced on Monday. Farhan Khan, who left the FDA for a private sector role in August 2025, takes over as the FCC's Chief Information Officer following the retirement of Alan Hill last October. Deputy CIO Don Tweedie had been serving in the role in an acting capacity since then. At the FDA, Khan oversaw digital transformation projects for the agency, managing a $200 million budget and team of more than 400 staffers, according to the FCC's press release. Khan began his federal career as a team lead with the Department of Justice in 2009, and he later served as the Department of Transportation's Director of Infrastructure, the FDA's CTO, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation's IT Infrastructure Operations Chief, and the U.S. Army's Director of Architecture and Integration for the Senior Executive Service. As the FCC's CIO, Khan, who holds a master's degree from George Washington in Information Systems, will be charged with overseeing the agency's overarching technical priorities, leading modernization efforts, and securing data. For more news at the intersection of the federal government and technology, make sure to visit fedscoop.com. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of the Daily Scoop podcast, available on all podcast platforms. If you've already rated the podcast on your platform of choice, thanks so much. High ratings and good reviews of the show help more people to find it. The Daily Scoop podcast is a production of the Scoop News Group in Washington, D.C. Adam Butler and Carlin Fisher help put the show together, and the entire Scoop News Group team contributes. We'll be back tomorrow with more top headlines. Until then, I'm your host, as always, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for listening.